That Hogmanay in 1912, we read up the beasts early in the evening, and then, after supper, sat close round the fire.
God, I wonder why Jean left us.
And so we sat, thinking of her that was by us, so kind and friendly and quick that last New Year. So cold and quiet and forgotten now, with the little dead twins in the kirkyard of Kinrady.
Happy New Year! Am I there first?
Are you feeling that?
What a night it is.
You must be freezing.
Oh, I'm not lass. Oh, dear.
Happy New Year, Rob.
Happy New Year to you.
You'll take a dram, Rob.
Oh, well, that. The Mauser's near frozen with that walk up the hill.
Well, that'll thaw it out.
More company, John.
Oh, it sounds like it. Good New Year to you.
Your health.
Happy New Year! I'm not a foot in my nut. Oh, rest.
Good, Shay. You better sleep there all night. Happy New Year.
Come on, Jay, you started early by the look of things.
Oh, there's some women would drive an man to drink.
Kirsty?
No. Her mother, God, she gets worse with the years. Near gets her face off of the bairns as much as make a bit howl. It's plain unreasonable that bairns I fight like tinks. Happy New Year to you.
Good New Year to you, Jay.
Ah, that's true, Jay. As it says in the hymn, it's a dog's delight to bark and fight.
Is it?
Ah, in faith, the average human can outdog any cur that was ever pupped. Now, horses are different.
Oh, wait the hell.
No, I've got my Schulte and my Clydesdale, and we're fine friends, the three of us.
Man, I've seen you leather the beast until folks spoke a sending for the cruelty.
A sound bit leathering and a pinch of kindness. That's the way to treat a horse.
Damn time, maybe you're right.
Oh,
It's a pity somebody wouldn't treat Kirsty's mother like that. She would dive a doornail with her fines and plaints. Throw an old Tory bitch.
No, there's worse folk in the Tories.
Ah, well, must keep themselves damn well hidden. If I had my way, I would have all the Tories put into barrels of spikes and roll down the Grampians.
Well, then there'd be a guy booming the barrel trade. The most they can ready would be inside them.
And damn good riddance to rubbish.
The storm had cleared by the time they left, and I watched the two of them leave in the bright starlight. Not very steady, either of them, to go down into shrouded Kinrady, lying below. For a while, up into the new year, April and the turnip time, things at Blaweary went fair and smooth. One night, when Will had gone off to Drumlithy, and Father was up on the moor with his gun, I set myself a great baking. Warm work it was in that fine weather. So, alone in the house, I nearly stripped.
Hello? Is Will about?
No, he's gone to Drumlithy, I think. As we stood there blushing, I thought, such a look he's taking. It's a pity he can't study the blush to its end.
Well, I was hoping I'd see him, in case he should leave suddenly.
Leave? Who said Will was leaving?
Oh, I heard he was trying for a job in Aberdeen. Maybe it's a lie. Tell him I called in.
Aye.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta, Ewan. Oh! But I guessed right well something new it was that kept Will so quiet, saying no more than his say at Plato Park. Yet if you looked at him, you'd more likely than not see him smiling to himself.
Will, breakfast ready?
All right. Come in.
I'm going to have the hay down with a scythe this year. Not spoil the stuff with a mower.
Aye. All right.
Is that all you have to say?
Well, what did you expect me to say? Thank you, Chris.
Ah, hold your damn weeper. Save your breath for the forking.
No, not today. I'm off to Aberdeen. Well, the old fool thinks he can frighten me still.
Well, you and Tavendale was down to see you last night. He thought you'd be leaving Blairgowrie.
Did he? God, did fair talk the bricks off a Heilbron when the gossipers are Kinraddy. If I know Tavendale, he came down to take a bit kick at you, Chris, lass.
Oh, Havers will.
Well, he's Highland and coarse, so take care of yourself. Chris. Lord, I wish you were coming with me.
What, to Aberdeen? I'd like to, fine, but I can't. Hurry up and dress her, you'll miss your train.
Aye.
Well, do you ken what time it is? Are you having a sleep before you set off on your jaunt?
No, Chris, I'll be down in a minute. Well, I do.
My, you look fair brave.
Oh, Havers. Well, ta-ta, Chris.
Well, what's the matter?
What the hell?
I watched him go down the Blairgowrie road as fast as he could walk. But he hardly looked in Father's direction, nor Father at him. Syne I heard him whistling bonny and clear as he did in the days when we went up the school road together. After a while, he looked round and stood still and waved his hand because he knew I was watching. Then a queer kind of pain came into my throat. My eyes smarted, and I told myself I was daft. Well, was only off for the day. He'd be back at night. But Will didn't come back that night. He didn't come back next day. He came back never again to John Guthrie's Kinraddy.
Aye, he altered his birth certificate and married her.
Aye, I know. They say that Guthrie went up to Aberdeen and raged at the police.
Aye, the police just laughed at him and asked him if he'd lain with the Queen himself that he was so mad at his son.
Oh, aye. It's fair to speak of the parish. Saw this education and dirt breeds nothing but a lot of damned impudence.
Aye, it was fair shameful of Will to go off and leave his father like that. He should think black burning shame.
It just shows you what the world's coming to. You're here up bairns expecting to get a bit of comfort in your old age, and what did you get?
Aye, I know.
Still, it'll maybe bring John Guthrie's pride down a wee bit to have folk laughing at him.
It's from Will. They've gone to the Argentine.
Aye, the Argentine you wrote to Chris from Southampton. Seems that Molly Douglas's mother has some kin out there, and they got him a job as a cattleman in some big Paul Angus ranch.
What's it like out there, Che? You're a well-travelled child. Is it a fine place, what do you think?
it's fine, fine. Mind if they've never actually been there, but it's a gay fine place, no doubt.
You can depend on it. That coarse young Guthrie brute'll never thrive.
Dampman, young Guthrie's no fool to spread his but wings. But just the same myself.
There'll be a judgment on him, you'll see. Him and his coarse tink quine. I'm all right, Jean, lass.
It's Chris, Father. You've hurt yourself.
Maybe. Get into the house, you white-faced bitch.
Lechty me, Mr. Guthrie. This is a sore sight. Whatever will you do now?
Well, whatever it is, I'll do it a damn sight better without you plucking about me like a doited hen.
Well, that's a nice thing to say, me having left my own housework to come over here.
It's the doctor, Father.
All right, and what's this? What's wrong with you now, Blue-Weary? Well, that's for you to find out. What the hell do you think you're paid for?
There's nothing the matter with him except ill temper, and he's plenty of that.
Damned Quine, you've nothing to do but stand about like a lady.
I'll get you some tea, Doctor.
It's taken a guy long time his examination, the doctor. Now, I never expected to be away as long as this. Chappell be in from the field soon and wanting his meat. God knows what's happening at Peasy's Nap and me know there.
I don't know either what's happening at Peasy's Nap. But if you're in such a tune about it, you'd better go home and find out.
Well, that's no way for a Quine to speak to a woman that's old enough to be your mother.
I'm sorry.
You should think shame to curse and swear with your father lying up there at death's door.
I didn't swear, Mistress Strachan. And I'm over-weary to argue.
It's bad, lass.
Paralysed.
Aye, that's what the doctor said. John Guthrie will never get out of his bed again.
An awful thing to have happened. He was aye that fleeting fast.
Aye, had a stroke, said the doctor. Kirsty was there when Chris was told.
Aye, I heard about that. They say the coarse Quine started to curse and swear at your wife while her father was lying near dead upstairs.
Then they say lies. I asked Chris if she'd given the wife a bit of a damning, and she said she hadn't. It's a pity, for it's high time somebody did.
My indem no surprise Blue-Weary had a stroke. No after that tink Will ran away.
Aye, I mind you said there would be a judgment on him. But it was his own rage that struck down John Guthrie.
True. Poor Chris.
What's the matter with you, Quine? Have you gone deaf? Why don't you come when I call?
For 5 weeks, he lay there with a whistle beside his bed when he wanted attention. And that was often enough. 5 weeks of Chris do this and Chris do that. Half dead at night, I would find myself thinking a thing that wouldn't bear rethinking out in the sun. And Lord, if I could lie down for a day, how I'd sleep and sleep. Fold over my soul and my heart, and put them away with their hours of vexing and caring. The ploughing was done, and I was set to my drilling. And faith, it was weary work. That a worse thing came as that slow September dragged to its end. A thing I would never tell a soul. Festering away in the closet of my mind, the memory would lie until it died. The memory of John Guthrie, lying there with the harvest in his blood.
Chris. Come to me, Chris. Chris. Come to me, lass. Like they did in Old Testament times. You're my flesh and blood. I can do with you as I will. Chris. Come to me. Do you hear?
Frightened and quivering, I slipped from his room and took to locking my door at night. It was a wild fear. Seeing Father somehow struggling from his bed and coming down on me while I slept. That madness and tenderness in his eyes. Though I slept but little at night. Then one morning, I heard Long Rob singing, and that singing was sweet to hear. As though the world outside Blaweary was singing to me, telling me that this thing in the still, dark house could never go on. No more than a chance and an accident it was. The wind-loved world of men. He was dead at last. Gone, with his gloomings and glarings, his whistlings and whisperings. Sleep. I could sleep as I chose now, often and long. It was raining early in the dawn, that day of the funeral. A fine drizzle that seeped and seeped from the sky, so soft and fine that you'd think it snow without whiteness. There was no sun at first, but it came up at last and hung there like a red ball.
Just as real
You know, Chris, a body would hardly think to look at you that your father was new dead.
Wouldn't you now, Mrs. Munro? It's near 10. The minister should be here soon.
Aye, well, I've just been up and given your father's beard a bit comb. He looks fair decent lying there in his white shirt and tie.
It was kind of you, Mr. Strachan, to see to the funeral arrangements.
Aye, well, Chris is all young for this kind of thing. I must say she's taken it guy cool. I fear the speaker can rally her coolness.
Aye, I thought the same myself. Aye, you can, it's not quite decent for the Queen to be going to the funeral at all.
Well, it's different in this case, with Blaweary having neither son nor brother to see him into the kirkyard.
Aye, how will that's right, how are you? You need to come today. Aye, it was that.
We've been needing this if any more folk turn up. Maybe a cold walk to the kirkyard and a drop of Glenlivet will no do any harm.
Man, half a Kinraddy's come to see Blaweary off.
It's more like a threshing day.
I'm glad to see Treddleston thought fit to put a white front over his working shirt.
Oh, fish trap. There's nothing wrong with the man. He seems decent enough to me. At least you'll notice he's polished his boots.
Aye, good morning, Mr. Gibbon. Aye. You'll take a...
Spirits, yes, thank you. I'll take a drop.
Aye. Oh, you'll have a dram, UPPERHILL. You and your man, eh?
I hardly think it shows respect. And you and TT as well.
Aye. Oh, well, I'll just away and tell Chris you're here, Minister. Aye.
Tom, I was just saying to Chrissy that when she's sold up Flewiri, she can come up and bide with us in the north.
Oh, aye, Chris. Some brave bit farmer would soon marry you up there.
We'll see. I don't even know whether my father left a will yet.
Ah, well, there's no hurry to make up your mind, eh? I just come to tell you the minister's here.
Oh, well, the undertaker will not be far behind. Chris, would you like to see your father before they screw him down?
Well, goodbye, Flewiri, man. He was a good neighbour.
Just screw it down now. Kiss your father, Chris.
Chris. Come to me, Chris. You're my flesh and blood. I can do with you what I will. Come to me, Chris.
Goodbye, Father. Stepped easily and cannily. But I walked free and uncaring, lifting my face to the wet September air and the world that was free to me. Then I saw it was Ewan Tavendale that walked beside me. He glanced down just then, and I looked up into his eyes. I looked, and near stumbled in the slow walk because of that looking. The rain still held off, and the wind soughing down the How died away. The sun glinted through from high up in the hill peaks, from up in the lost coarse ground where never a soul lived or passed, but maybe some shepherds. You could see them far off, lone and lonesome on a still clear day. Maybe so the dead walked, in the coarse, deserted lands of death, where only a chance wanderer showed his face, and the dead lapwings wheeled against another sun.
I am the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. O death,
And I listened to the words that promised resurrection and life through Jesus Christ our Lord, who had died long syne in Palestine, and had risen on the third day, and would take from that thing that had been John Guthrie quick, and was now John Guthrie dead, the quickness, and give it habitation again. I minded then all the fine things of him that the years had hidden. The unwearying fight he'd fought with the land and its masters to have us all clad and fed. I minded how he'd smiled at me and called me his lass in the days before the world's fight and the fight of his own flesh grew over bitter and poisoned his love to hate.
Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ.
Father, I didn't know. I didn't know. And I wept softly for the father I'd never helped and forgot to love.
Aye, well, Mr. Simple, I hope you had a good trip down from Stonehaven.
Oh, fair enough. I'm glad to see the weather's clearing, though. Yesterday was enough a day for a funeral.
Aye, it was that. There'll be a few bad calls in Kinraddy the day.
Did I? I made Chrissy strip and go straight to bed as soon as she got back. I didn't want her to be the next in her grave.
And how's Christine taking it
Oh,
all?
she cried all night. The lass must have been fair fond of her father.
He was fond of her.
You'll be referring to the will, eh?
I have it here just as he made it.
Aye, that would be after the boy went off to the Argentine.
Yes. I told your brother he was been fair sore in some of his family.
Ah, well, John Guthrie was a man that would never listen to advice.
He told me to mind my own business, and that was a clerk's.
Oh, but he trusted you, Mr. Simple. And a man had to be fell straight in his gate before my brother would do that.
Here's the dram, Mr. Simple.
Oh, that'll be most acceptable. Oh, thank you.
Ah, well, here's...
Well, now, Christine, I think we should get down to the business in hand.
Yeah, well, I think, Mr. Simple, if you could maybe just give us the gist of it first.
Oh, that's easy enough. It's as sharp and plain as you please. Your father wills that all his possessions in money and belongings go to you, Christine.
Everything?
Everything. That has without let nor condition. And the money amounts to over £300, which is in the bank.
£300, eh?
It's hard to believe that Father could have saved all that.
Aye, but he had. Now you'll be able to do as you planned, Christine. Get back to the college, and when you've passed your exams, take your degrees in Aberdeen and become a teacher.
What about Blewiri?
Oh, the lease died with your father.
Oh, lass, you'll be well finished with a filthy sauce of a farm. Sell your gear and be done with it.
Ah, it's all very well, but if you ask me, John Guthrie's been gay, spiteful to his son.
Oh, it is possible that Will Guthrie might dispute the terms of the inheritance.
Well, that wasn't just what I meant.
Another thing, Christine. Your father has appointed me to be your guardian in such law matters as we need one. As to the goods and the gear, they're yours to control as you please. Now, think well over it.
I'll do that. Now I had all that I wanted. But I felt no longer that fine thrill that had been with me while I made my secret plans. It was as though I had lost it, down in Kinraddy Kirkyard. A knowledge came to me as I crossed Blewiri's parks. Nothing endured. Nothing but the land I passed across. And I had thought to leave it all. My fine-bit plannings. They'd been just the dreamings of a child over toys it lacked. Toys that would never content it when it heard the smore of a storm or the cry of sheep on the moors or smelt the pringling smell of a new ploughed park under the drive of a coulter. Oh, I hated and loved that land in a breath. But my hate was no more than the fear of a child that cowered from the wind in the lithe of its mother's skirts.
Sit you down, Christine. This is fine and comfortable. And what brings Miss Guthrie up to St. Haven? Oh, you'll have been thinking about the will, no doubt.
Just that, Mr. Semple.
And what have you decided?
I'm going to live at Blue for a while.
What's that?
I don't want to sell the gear. Not just yet. Maybe you could get the factor to renew the lease.
But you can't live there alone.
No. I was wondering if you could find me some woman. Some old buddy in need of a home.
Oh, there's plenty of them. But even
It
so...
mightn't be for more than a month or so. Just till I've made up my mind.
Just. A woman's mind. Just.
It's what I've decided, Mr. Semple.
I must advise you against it. Running a farm's no life for a young lassie. No, no life at all. Oh, this is the last thing I expected.
My father's will said I could do what I liked.
Aye, I did that. Well, I'll see what I can do with the factor. And there's an old wedded buddy, Mistress Mellon. I'll send her down to Blaweary in the morning.
Thank you, Mr. Semple.
Well, you'll be going for the 11 o'clock train back to Gibbon?
Haven't made up my mind yet. I thought I might take a look at the sea. Maybe have dinner in one of the hotels.
Oh, the big guy busy at dinner time. Didn't forget it's market day.
See you at the mark.
Mind the time, then.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Ewan.
You in for the day, then?
Oh, aye. Just that. You'll be in for the mark.
Aye.
I was just going up to the inn for dinner.
Maybe we can eat together.
Oh, maybe. But what'll Mr. Gordon do?
Gordon can dance a jig at the head of the mat for all I care.
He'll be in a fair rage.
Well, let him. I'm due a holiday today. I was working all last Sunday in a job living lambs.
Where'll we go, then?
Well, I know a place. It's got a nice room. We can have broth, oat cakes, boiled beef and turnips.
So you're in no hurry back?
Well, not unless you should be. What train are you taking back to Kearney?
No train in particular.
Maybe we can have the day together.
Aye. Maybe.
Maybe it's too soon after your father's funeral.
No. What'll we do?
Well, we can have our dinner first. Then, I know, we can walk out to the Nutter Castle.
And that was how it came about. The Nutter was in front of us, and we were climbing down the path that led to the island. Above us, the rock rose sheer, crowned with the ruins of the castle walls. There were everywhere. I was deafened by the clamour of the brutes. But quiet enough in the castle it proved. Not a soul seemed visiting there but ourselves. Down below in the dungeons were the mouldering clefts where a prisoner's hands were nailed while they put him to the torment. There the covenanting folk had screamed and died while the gentry dined and danced in their lithe, warm halls. I stared at the place. sick and angry and sad for those folk I could never help now. That hatred of rulers and gentry, a flame in my heart. John Guthrie's hate. My folk and his they had been, whose names stood graved in tragedy. In this place died 9 persons, prisoners in Duncan Castle, anno 1685, for their adherence to the word of God and Scotland's covenanted work of reformation.
Let's get out of this. Come down to the sea. I know a wee place. They say the rocks are hollow and the water runs far below the fields. The ploughmen swear they can see their furrows quiver sometimes from the storm raging under their feet. Chris, do you like me a bit?
Can't thole you at all. That's why we're out here lazing in this place together. Like him. It was as though my blood ran so clear, and with such a fine, sweet song in my veins, that I must hold my breath to hear it. So it was that I knew I liked him, loved him. Ewan? Was it true? That story they told about you and old Sarah Sinclair?
Does it matter?
No. I'd just...
You just want to know for all that?
Don't want to know at all.
You'll damn well listen now that you've asked.
You're hurting my arm.
Aye, the Kinraddy Crakes will say you were lucky if that's all the hurt you suffered from that coarse tink group you and Avondale. You might be thinking the same thing yourself.
I didn't mean anything like that.
I know fine what you meant. Aye, it's true about me and Sarah. It was the time of the year and we were both willing, especially her.
I don't want to hear about it.
Now you're frightened. Frightened that a woman should feel like that. Well, maybe one day you'll feel it yourself, Chris Guthrie.
Maybe I will, you and Avondale. But when I do, I'll get a better man than you to serve me.
Chris! Come back! Chris!
So women were like that when they didn't have the men they wanted. I lay in bed that night and thought of Ewan, who was only a boy in spite of his Sarah Sinclair. I listened to the batter of the rain against my window and the swish of the great flowery trees. I'm fine, Auntie.
Grassic, what are you doing up?
I must see to the beasts.
Oh, the cow will be all right unless the bire's struck.
It's the horses I'm thinking of. Father put barbed wire around the field and it might draw the lightning. Uncle Tom! Uncle Tom, we must take in the horses.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not safe outside in the night like that.
Oh, he's right, Kirsty. Best go back to your bed and wait till the morning, lass.
Two of them anyway. Dan's lying dead at the fence. Come on. I'll see you back to Bawiri. Storm seems to be moving to the south now, Chrissy.
Aye, it'll be light soon. And my name's Chris.
Damn it, Chris, is that all you are doing? You'll have caught your death of cold.
Oh, no, I'm all right. Shh.
Are your uncle and auntie still here?
Aye, they're away back to Ochterless tomorrow. Shut that window, you, and it's quite drafty.
The rain's brought out the smell of the honeysuckle. Fair drenches the air. Chris.
Don't, Ewan. Don't. When you tell us it's not kissing. Ewan, wait. Come down and see me tomorrow evening.
Chris, when will you marry me?
Whenever you say you want me to. Oh, sorry, Ewan, but I'm so tired.
God damn it to hell, though, Chris.
Oh, see, you can't help it yourself.
It was you that started me.
Oh, wait. Waken them upstairs.
Tomorrow night, then.
Aye. I'll be waiting.
Good night, Chris.